Alright guys, absolutely delighted to welcome to the channel two-time ranking tournament winner, Dominic Dale. Welcome. You break off. You were jumping at the bit there. You had the cue out ready.
I've just got to show some enthusiasm. I'll go home. I won't practice for 3 days.
Now, straight away, I have to say, you're wearing my watch.
I am, yeah. You won 3 world titles wearing this very watch, would you believe it? What, do you want to buy it back? It's a Tag Heuer.
Yeah.
Apparently, the serial number relates to Dubai. I don't know if that means anything to you. I hope it does.
I think I bought it in Dubai airport.
Oh, there you go. That's corroboration. Thank goodness.
Dominic likes to buy you collect a lot of stuff, don't you, through Snooker? You got some of Steve's stuff?
Yeah. I sort of lost interest in it, though, about 5 years ago. I don't collect anything anymore. In fact, selling most of my memorabilia.
Because you had my spitting image puppet as well.
I did. You've got it back, haven't you?
I've got it back now, yeah.
Don't know how you managed that, because I sold it to a geezer in Cambridge. It's a bit surreptitious. See, nothing changes. Can't see.
Can you believe that? You did a good safety shot. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
How serious are we taking this? Hang on a minute.
So you've sort of stopped the collecting of snooker stuff, have you? Because you're big into cues as well, weren't you?
I was. Do you know, I've never forgotten an interview you did when you were talking about retirement.
Yeah.
And, you know, how do you know when it's the right time to retire? And you just said, you just know. And I was worried that when I retire, because I'm retiring at the end of the season.
Are you really?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've had enough.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know I was retiring? Oh yeah, I've told all the TV companies I want to get as much commentary in as I can. Because I worked for Eurosport for about 20 years, but I'd like to do a bit more if I can.
Right.
But I've just had enough of playing the game.
Oh, okay.
I love playing matches, but I can't stand practicing.
I think that's what goes with everyone.
Yeah.
Is the love it. It certainly went with me. I mean, I towards the end, I just wasn't doing. And even if I did practice, it wasn't proper practice.
Well, I knew you so well through your whole career.
Just go through the motions. You just go through the motions, don't you?
I knew as a player you hated losing, and the last 5 or 6 years of your career, you didn't seem to mind. You sure you're not practicing 6 hours a day?
No, honestly.
That's what happens at the end of your career. You start practicing, and you're fine, and you go and play a match, and all of a sudden it could be sort of 3-all. And you're faced with a shot that you know you've got to go for.
If you were commentating, what would you say about that positional shot?
I'll say it's par for the course for you. Everyone else, it's a miracle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cushions, absolutely to the millimetre on this red.
Yes. So you know the table, that's what you're saying.
I know the table. What was it? Was there a match or anything that you just thought, that's it? Or was it just the fact you just looked?
It's a gradual thing. I've got a collection of billiards videos I've got of Roger Lee.
Right.
And I used to watch them fairly regularly. And then all of a sudden I stopped watching them and not wanting to watch them anymore. I used to change cues a lot and have enthusiasm and for it all. And I'd also work on my game and think about changing cues and be enthusiastic about it, working on my game, try different cue action, which is something you always do anyway.
Yeah.
And that stopped happening, and I thought, do you know what? Here's a cue that's come along, I like it, but I thought, I ain't changing cues now, because if I do, it means I've got to practice 3 hours longer every day to get used to it. It's just things like that, you just know, don't you?
Yeah.
And I get a lot of aches and pains in my shoulder, I get inflammation in my fingers through practicing.
Really?
Oh yeah, I did 2.5 hours yesterday, and after about 2 hours, my shoulders are killing
What, for this?
No, just first day practice. Well, I should play you. I could never beat you, could I? Yeah.
How many cues did you have in your career, do you reckon?
Oh,
How many
crikey.
cues have you used?
Well, someone asked me this the other day. Oh, look at that.
Shot.
That'll do. Oh, I must have used 30 odd cues in my career. Yeah, but the things I do woodworking, and I've put tips on players' cues. So if a cue is thrown wrongly with side spin, I know why, and I can adjust the ferrule size, retaper cues. I've always been interested in antiques. I'm sort of a self-taught French polisher and wood finisher. I do all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Oh, I've got a chance here. Right, don't talk.
30 cues?
Oh, I must have done, yeah. I've got the most polychromatic runner bean sticks you've ever seen.
You got perfect red here to get in the black.
Hey?
You got perfect red here to get in the black.
I've got one here.
Okay.
Trace the sides, throw it wide.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't want to tie the reds up there.
I honestly can't, because I obviously hear about, like, John's had a few cues, Maguire apparently changing cue a lot. But I mean, I had the same cue until I got broken airport. I mean, I just can't envision changing cues.
Well, I was expecting that to stun better, but it didn't.
That's an old cloth.
That's a bit like my table, actually, in Stroud. You play a screw shot, you just don't get the spin on the ball, and it dribbles thin.
How often would you change your cloth?
oh, crikey, this is a thing. So I've just no interest, once a season.
Really?
But everybody plays on my table.
Right. That was a nice shot. Oh. Had about 19 reds to play for there, and I landed on none of them.
Good angle for those black.
If it was commentary, I would say that was clumsy.
Yeah, well, careless is the word people use.
So would you just change cues out of, if you played badly, you just think, oh, I'll try something new? Or
never that. Because I love timbers and and antiques anyway, a cue would come along with a fantastic bit of ash or maple. I'm actually really a maple man. Or you'd have fancy splices in the wood and it'd be well made.
Yeah.
I think, oh, I'm going to see if I can play with that. And it might be good, it might be bad, and I think, well, I can play with that if I just alter the taper.
So you just look at something and say, it looks nice.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
I never change cues because of playing bad. If I play badly, it's my fault. It's not the cues. Okay. And that is a problem with some of the other players, like, as you say, Stephen Maguire, Anthony McGill. They've changed cues so many times, but it becomes a disease.
Nice. I've always thought you were a very good ball striker.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, you don't. I've never. Whenever I watch you play, you never overhit anything, do you?
Probably not. No. I mean, it's interesting the cue actions that you model yourself on, because I used to play in an old tin shed in West Wales.
Right.
It was baking hot in the summer. I used to use this maple cue and it got so sticky.
Yeah.
And I had to change my cue action because it was a little bit like Steve Davis, it's quite short. So I modelled it on, funny enough, more than anybody else, it was John Higgins.
Right, okay.
Much longer backswing because I needed it to strike the ball.
Right.
In such heavy conditions.
No, but I've also thought you go through the cue ball very nicely.
Yeah.
Quite a unique bridge hand as well, aren't you? Fingers close to, close together. Like most people sort of spread them out.
Oh, yeah.
But you're quite sort of like...
Sometimes it goes like that without me knowing. Terry Griffiths was like that.
Oh,
The late and great, but yeah.
Like the old Star Wars guy, wasn't it? I mean, I can do that, but I wouldn't have that as a bridge. Star Trek.
Star Trek, that's it.
Who's the guy in Star? They do that, didn't they?
God knows, yeah. It's a long time since I watched that. Wow, I thought I'd come off the cushion and back out to the flat.
So how long have you had that cue using now then? Is that an antique cue or is it?
No, it's a strange one that, because I played Anthony McGill at the start of last season with a cue, and I really liked it, and I managed to beat it. And I thought I'd look for a spare for it. And I've got a friend's website called Extraordinary Cues. Yeah. And this was one of my old cues, but I never used it for long because it was throwing the ball off with side. And I thought, wow, look at the arrows on that, they're so good.
Yeah.
Fantastic
that's strong,
arrows,
isn't it? That's strong.
Yeah. And a beautifully made cue. It's a Maximus cue from Thailand. And I thought, oh yeah, I forgot about that cue. I'll get that back off Andy Doyle if I can. And I did, and I started playing with it, and it was throwing off with side.
Right.
So I thought, I know why, it's about 9 3/4 mil. So I took it down to about 9.5, just kept playing with it until it was throwing how I wanted. Then I refinished the shaft and tidied it all up and carried on playing with it. I think I played a match 3 or 4 days later. I think I played Alan Taylor with it in a qualifier, and I played really well, made 2 centuries and felt great, and I've been using it since.
All right.
And like I say,
have you still got the 30 cues that you've used?
No.
You sell them?
I'll sell them. Yeah, I'll get rid of them. I'll swap them, sell them. Yeah, I don't keep them.
Suppose if you keep them, you're tempted to go back.
Go back to something, yeah. Especially if I think, oh God, that's a beautiful looking cue.
You go to a tournament, you're all 30 there. So which one will take this week?
Worst thing you can do. Oh, it's terrible. I've done it so many times. Crikey, it's
I must admit, I was thinking what you would wear today, and you're not disappointed.
Well,
you always look quite extravagant, don't you, with your dress? That big woolly coat you wear.
I remember doing a golf day many, many years ago, and he asked me what box of tricks I had with me.
So what age were you when you first picked up a cue?
6 or 7, back in Coventry.
Well, yeah, that's young.
Yeah, my dad bought a table for my older brothers to play on, but they were interested in electric guitars, so they just... In the end, it was, I was just fascinated by the coloured balls. I actually played a tournament on TV when I was 12, the Riley National Junior Championships.
Really?
I won it. I beat a Scotsman, actually, Colin Simpson, in the final. There were all sorts of players. Anthony Davis was in it, Ian Sargent. Played them in the heats.
Yeah.
But yeah, won the whole thing on TV.
That was it. You just knew then snooker, did you? Were you good at school, or?
Oh, I did well at school, yeah. But I had a job in the Dyfed Parish Police Headquarters, and had the game not gone open where you could actually pay money and turn professional, I'd never have bothered. 1, 2. Oh, didn't work that time. Oh, your positional play though hasn't let me down. It's just about where I want it. Green's back in bolt, good. Hate it when it's down here. My
Wait,
God, Steve,
what age did you changed your name, didn't you?
Oh,
I mean,
God,
if it's that's like that's something you don't want to talk about, I don't mind. But what was it?
Yeah, well, basically, I was on a youth training scheme.
Because you used to be called Chris, right?
Yeah, it still is part of my name. It's Dominic John Dale, but I was doing a YTS, a youth training scheme. That was something that you did back in the day when you left school.
Yeah.
Oh, not on the red. And so I did that, and I worked in a firm of solicitors for a year. Nap. Good grief. I think we should start this whole sequence again. This is the worst frame I've ever played in my life.
We'll have another one. Don't worry. This is just a warm-up frame.
But yeah, I need it. So yeah, I worked in the solicitors, and I did a sixth form thing at school with a guy. There was a guy called Dominic and a lady called Dominique. I just like the name. And they said they'd changed my name for nothing in the solicitors, so I thought, go on then, why not? So I was 17 when I changed my name.
So all these times you had actual jobs, were you still playing snooker in your spare time?
As an amateur, yeah, I was playing for Wales as a junior and a senior amateur international player, basically.
What age did you turn pro?
I turned pro at the age of 20, 92, 93 season, same year as Ronnie and all those guys.
So I think the first tournament I remember you at was Dubai.
Yeah, you beat me in Dubai. I had that Manet, didn't I? The white ferrule.
Yeah, the one that Laurie Annandale used to have, like the referee.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the first thing obviously I noticed, because that was quite a random cue.
Yeah, very much so.
Like the bone ferrule.
It was actually horn, yeah. But the problem is horn has a bit of a grain in it, and it split, because it's played for billiards. You don't smash the balls so hard playing billiards, do you?
Okay.
So it just gave way and split, and I put another horn ferrule on it, and that didn't last long. Put a brass ferrule on it. It was throwing the ball off all over the place. Right. It became unusable. But
you straight away you kind of gained a reputation, didn't you? You didn't really bother what you said to people, did you? If I remember, you upset Jimmy, didn't you?
Oh my goodness me! You're not supposed to remember these things. Oh, that was tragic.
I remember everything.
Do you know? That's right, and it related to that cue because Jimmy, I played him in that year's World Championships, did I, or something?
Because it was after the year where obviously we got beaten. I beat him in a deciding frame in the world, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I played him in a tournament, and I think I beat him 5-2, and we were on the bus in Dubai. It was the last year of Dubai, which was '94, wasn't it? Yeah. And it's all coming back now. And we were on the bus going to the venue, and I just stopped talking just before I strike the ball. And Jimmy was sitting in front of me, and I played him with this cue, the white ferrule on it, and I managed to beat him, I think. Anyway. I'm sitting right behind him. He's turned around and says, "All right, Dominic, how you doing?" He talks out the corner with Mark, you know what I mean? And he says, "Tell me something. Have you still got that cue with that white thing on it?" And I said, "Oh yes, the original ferrule for the cue." I said, "I'll never change that." He says, "Why don't you put a brass one on? You might be able to play better." And I took it wrong. I thought he's implying I'm a useless player, which is probably right anyway. So why don't I put brass ferrule on it? It might make me a better player. And just off the cuff, I said, "Why don't you practice blacks off the spot? You'd be world champion." Never even thought about what I was saying. It just came out. Dear God, that was horrendous. I
always remember that.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, what was Jimmy's face? He was like,
well, he didn't know what to say.
No. Yeah, because no one would have ever said anything like that. Oh
gosh! And do you remember John Reed from Birmingham?
Yeah.
Oh my God! He was telling everybody. First thing he did was tell Martin Clark, because like operas, aren't they, from the same sort of oh dear, that was horrendous. And of course it spread like wildfire. And I'll never forget. I was in my hotel room. I was almost in tears, because I didn't want anything like this thought of me as a person.
Yeah.
I was just, oh dear. I'm glad after about 93 years, people are still remembering it. Dear me.
I have to do my research for this, I have to
You have, haven't you?
He's flowing now. Flowing now.
I can feel that I'm cueing a bit better anyway. I've always been jealous of players that can cue, and like for instance the arrows stay straight. When I cue, I twist, but a lot of players do it. I think it's because if you don't, you hit your ribs with your knuckle. So it's just a thing that you do The worst one for doing it is Stuart Bingham. I mean, if for instance, by the time he's finished, the top splice is on the side.
Right.
And Steve Maguire twists a lot.
Right, okay.
So many players do.
Yeah.
I'll try a trick shot here. Oh, it's worked.
Look at this. Are you just showing off now?
Oh, God. This is my practice for the upcoming qualifiers.
So this is your last season then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Are you actually enjoying it better because you know it's your last season or not?
No.
No?
Do you know what I found though? Apparently I had the second best season of my career last season. I only lost one qualifier in every single tournament I played it.
Right.
And that was because I was burnt out. I lost 4-0, couldn't make a 30 break. I was just mentally burnt out. Never had that experience before.
Yeah.
So I qualified for everything, all the China tournaments, a lot. I qualified for the Crucible, first time in 10 years. I thought that I would give it my all this season.
Right.
And I'd just retire like that.
Yeah.
But I find I'm winding down slowly into retirement. And I don't really want to. I wanted to start winning matches again, but...
Seniors?
Well, in fact, I had a chat with Jason. I wanted to play in this season's World Championships because my plan is to retire as soon as I'm out of the World Championships, be it qualifiers at Crucible or whatever, is to email the governing body, announce my retirement and ask to be taken out of the ranking system with immediate effect.
Yeah.
In which case, fair. Yeah, in which case, because I don't want to see my name in the rankings.
Yeah.
When I'm not playing anymore. You know, so
because I mean the seniors thing, obviously you've got the 900s and things like that. They're quite they're fun to play in.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been telling people is that.
And you wouldn't have to practice much. You just turn up and I mean it's only, you know, I don't practice for them. Hence why I never win a match hardly. But
yeah, I just want to sort of give something back to them. Enjoy it. Play snooker for what it is. It's recreation really. It's leisure.
Yeah.
I don't want it, pint of blood in every shot like it is when you're a pro.
But you'd still want to actually play snooker. You can never throw your cue down and never pick it up again, do you think, or not? I mean, I mean,
probably
forget how I am playing, but I actually will never not in my life not pick up a snooker cue because it's what I do. It's what I was born to do.
Yeah,
it's like, even though it's horrendous the standard I play now. But
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know if I could cope with that. I've never forgotten an interview.
Well, I can't. But I just, unfortunately now, I'm tied to it with this YouTube channel, so I've got to pick up again.
Poor Stephen, what will you do?
No, but I enjoy this, just like, there's no pressure, it's just...
You enjoy it, I'm pleased about that, yeah, because I've never forgotten an interview that I saw in the Heritage Room in Sheffield. John Pulman was being filmed with Ray Reardon, walking around, looking at the walls, all the photographs and everything. And they're all mic'd up there interviewing each other, talking about the old times. And John Pulman turns to Ray and says, of course, Ray, you still practice every day in your club, don't you? And Ray says, oh yes, don't get me wrong, I love the golf, always play golf in the afternoon, but always have a couple of hours snooker practice in the morning. And John Pulman said, oh, well, there you go, Ray, that's where you and I differ, because I always thought snooker was the easiest game in the world to walk away from. And that's how it is. I mean, I've served 3 life sentences.
But when I retired before Steve was still playing. I said to Steve, I said, how can you still play and losing to people who shouldn't be lacing your boots
well,
and
this
stuff?
Is right, isn't it?
But he says I just treat it as a day out, and I couldn't do that. That's why I retired, because for me, the winning is the enjoyment, not the playing. Don't get me wrong, when you play well, you enjoy it, but it's the winning. Oh, and off the blue.
Don't double. I asked Steve about that. I said, I remember when you beat me in China, you were saying to me, I said, I was putting my cue in the case, I thought, well, at least I don't have to go to China anymore.
Right.
And I thought, yeah, okay, I know what it means.
Yeah, you must like it. You won your second ranking tournament in Shanghai.
Oh, I love China, actually. I do love. I mean, the one I'm about to try to qualify for is Yushan. That's the hardest one to get to.
Is it?
You fly to Beijing, you've got to wait 5 or 6 hours, if you're lucky, to get a bullet train to Yushan, which is a 3-hour bullet train. That's great fun, but by then you're absolutely so jet-lagged. You're really struggling. Yeah.
But I mean, that must have been we went in Shanghai, right? I mean, that's...
Yeah, I've always loved Shanghai.
It's a great tournament.
Yeah. It was
the atmosphere, the city, everything.
Yeah, it was the first time I'd ever seen a star table, actually. We'd never seen them before.
Oh, Steve.
Funnily enough...
Black of a spot, unforgivable.
Well, I missed about 9 already. But, oh my goodness, how did that go in?
We're playing like 2 commentators here.
Hang on a minute. Get the old templates. Where are they? Gordon Bennett. Oh, come on.
I put the difficult ones in.
I know. This is why I don't know if I will play. Oh, God, I'd love to play in this year's World Championships on the seniors. But I don't know if I mean, I promise you one thing, I would not be touching my cue for a year. If I played in next year's seniors, well, the year after then, technically.
Well, you have to beat Igor Figueiredo. He's just winning everything.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't play for 51 weeks. I'd do an hour a day for a week and just see. I don't know whether I want to do it, though. We'll see.
And your first ranking tournament was the Grand Prix?
Grand Prix, 97, yeah.
97.
Beat John in the final,
Did you beat me in that one? At the early rounds?
No, never beat you in my whole career. The best...
Did you not?
No.
That's good. That makes me happy, actually.
We're having a serious best of 5 when I before you...
Makes me very happy, that.
But, no, I think I was 5-3 up on you in the UK one year. And you beat me 9-7 or 9-6. But I remember being 6-4 up on you. And I was 60 odd up and you made an amazing clearance. And after that, you just were a different player.
Right.
Because I had you under pressure all match. But I'll never forget, I was sat in my chair in the corner. You were playing a shot with the rest over here into the green pocket. And you struck it like a dream. I thought, wow, geez, he's hit that ball like a dream. And all of a sudden I thought, my God, this guy is just the way he strikes the ball.
Did you always believe you could win a ranking tournament?
I never really thought of it. One thing I will say though, when I got to later rounds, oh, good grief. When I got to the later rounds or something, I definitely thought, you know, I could beat somebody. I was one of these players. I was one of these players that needed to win a match or two, and then I'd be away and running and confident.
Right.
I'm not one of these guys that can win their first ranking event and think to themselves, right, where's the next one coming from? I always sort of thought, I've done something here I'm not really ready to achieve.
Right.
I wasn't even close.
You beat John in the final, which...
Yeah, I was 4-0 up on John actually in the final. Nothing went his way. He's had so much bad run of the ball. I think I made a couple of 50 odds, but I did play well to win it. I made 120 something and a 70 odd.
Right.
The last 2 frames, I couldn't miss the last 2 frames. In fact, when we were walking off afterwards, he shook my hand, he says, "You're a Superman last 2 frames." That's my best impression of a Scots. You're a Superman.
No, but that's nice though to sort of get blast over the line rather than stutter and sort of.
Because you were famous for that, of course.
To win play your best snooker at the end.
Oh, blimey.
So who gave you the name Spaceman then? You said Superman there.
Nobody knows. We think it was Alan Hughes. Nobody knows. I mean,
Alan Hughes?
I heard one story that Jimmy White was on a Parkinson's show and he was asked, what do you think of this new kid on the block, this Dominic Dale?
Jimmy White's never been on the Parkinson's show, has he?
Well, that's just a story I heard.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But the 2 other stories, the Grimsby boys, was it Mike Hallett? And,
I mean, it sounds like something that Jimmy would call you. Especially after your Dubai incident, so he probably never let it go.
Apparently he says, no, I've never said anything like that. I never use that word. But I really think it's probably unused. I don't like the phrase spaceman.
What, you don't like it? You had your walk-on music as a spaceman.
No, it's just a thing.
If you don't like it, you said, okay, I want nothing to do with it. Well, you don't have that as your walk-on music.
I don't like it. It belies my superior intellect. That's the problem. You know. But, no, it's a gimmick. I mean, look at the nicknames they give people.
Well, that's it. I mean, I didn't really. I mean, John McCurrick called me the Golden Bairn, which is not really a nickname.
Yeah. God, you had a lot of nicknames, didn't you?
Yeah, probably some that I don't want to hear.
Oh, wow. I had my own one.
So when did you start commentating?
That was something that a lot of people don't know, actually. I started commentating the Welsh Open in 1998.
Of course, okay.
Somebody was indisposed. They asked if I'd have a go, because they know I like a chat. It's the Doug Mountjoy blue, that was. And they said I took to it like a duck to water, so I've done the Welsh Open ever since. I started for Eurosport in about 2004, I think.
You're really popular. Whenever I hear conversations about people's favourite commentators, your name's always up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's flattering, because I'm not on any form of social media, even WhatsApp social media to me.
Yeah, you've not got... Oh, that was nice.
That was well struck, Stephen.
That was nice. But yeah, whenever people talk about, even when I'm chatting amongst players and everything, they say, oh, no, I think Dominic's good, which is,
Wow.
If you got players saying that you're...
Yeah, It's nice because I did quite well at school, and English, I like to think I've got a very good vocabulary.
Yeah.
I talk proper like, know what I mean? So I suppose it's nice to use those skills, if skills they are.
I mean, how many blacks am I going to miss in this?
Well, that's the same. It just shows the importance of concentration. You know, I've got so many.
So you'd like to do more?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh goodness me, that was like a swerve shot. No, you just trace a sign.
You do punt the studio stuff as well?
Yeah, for the Welsh Open I do. Yeah, I've done a bit for Eurosport as well. I didn't enter the shootout this year because I actually hate the shootout. It's so nerve-wracking, and I've won it. Well, I mean, I won the shootout.
It's my guilty pleasure to watch. But I would absolutely detest
devastatingly nerve-wracking.
I mean, what is that crowd about? I mean, I know that's what it's all about, but...
It's a tournament for dipsomaniacs, that's for sure. Mildly inebriated every time, but no, I mean, it is fantastic fun.
Listen, it is what it is.
Yeah. It was better in the days when it was in Blackpool. It's lost its identity now since, you know, the cessation of the walk-on girls and things like that, you know.
Well, we'll cut that out. You can't say that these days, can you? Walk-on girl, you can't have...
Well, can't you? Well, that's what they were. That's what
I know exactly, but I mean that's why they don't have them anymore, do they? Has he got the cannon?
They genuinely love doing that.
I mean, listen, it's an event that stands alone, and I think it should always be there because it's completely different to anything else. But the only worry about it is...
Do you think it should be a ranking event though?
No, never. No, I never did.
Because it counts the ranking points for snooker tournaments whereby you play by the official rules of the game of snooker. You don't in the shootout. So it'll always be a novelty event. Yeah,
I don't know. I've never believed that. But my only worry is less and less, because there's so much money for the top players now in invitation events in China, Saudi Arabia, everything, that less and less top players will play in it.
Yeah.
And then the tournament might suddenly become a little bit devalued. I don't know.
That's the reason I think it's a ranking event.
But yeah, what an opportunity though for players down to win something is...
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely amazing.
I mean, look at poor Liam Graham. He was just a couple of shots away from winning it, you know.
I know. I watched it and I just like, I was
I know.
And he played so well as well. He put some great balls and then,
Yeah, you have to think though. You have to think, you know, how many matches should I have really actually lost and I'm in the final? It's hard to do though. You think, you know, I missed two balls, I missed that simple red and I would have been champion of champions, next to 30 grand.
Any matches in your career you'd like to replay? Any shots you'd like to have again?
Oh, crikey. It's a difficult one, but I mean, obviously disappointed. I was 11-5 down to Barry Hawkins in the World, went 12-11 up. Wow.
Right.
Geez, it really goes with side, doesn't it? And I tried to, instead of running towards the line, I tried to sort of walk to the line instead of playing the way it got me from 11-5 down to 12-11 up. But Barry didn't miss a pot for 2 frames though.
Right, okay.
There's a different thing, it's a mindset change, you know. You probably
so
do think, shut up shop a bit.
With more risk, like risk-free.
I was thinking differently. I mean, he was under all sorts of pressure, so sometimes you play the man and you think, well, you know, I don't need to give him easy chances because he's gone. You know, I've won 7 frames in a row. But truth was, it was that fight or flight thing for him, and he was absolutely incredible the last 2 frames.
Favourite venue, was that the Crucible, would you say? Would you say it's your favourite venue?
I will say, I lost 10-1 to Kyron last season at the Crucible, and I will say some of the pots I missed, the mistakes I made, I'd never make anywhere else. Never. I played some of my best snooker at the Crucible. Yeah. Well, it just finds you out, doesn't it? Worst. Yeah.
It finds you out.
It's a venue like no other. Because it's a theatre. We used to play at the Assembly Rooms in Derby. That was a theatre.
That was a great venue.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, for me, the UK was a fantastic venue.
Yeah.
You know, it had that great big sort of clear story. You could just walk the whole way around.
What about commentating? Any matches that you're best commentating? Are you saying that's incredible? I mean,
I did Zhang Anders 147 actually for Eurosport.
Oh, okay.
But it was on the other table, so they came to us. So it's nice because I was lead commentator for that. So you know, it's nice to be doing lead commentary.
Did you find it that when you first commentated, like predict shots? That's what I found difficult because I found players played different shots than I would, especially break building.
I'll say one thing though. When you actually have a look at the table, the overview picture, you see things so differently, don't you? It's a sort of our perspective, which is sort of almost table height. Ooh, in and out.
I mean, I've listened to you a little bit, but I haven't listened to it obviously because I only watch snooker when I'm being paid. So I tend to, if I'm not working Eurosport, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
But are you quite critical in your way, or
Oh,
do you
I can
just,
be, yeah, but in the right way.
Basically, all we can do is say what we see.
Yeah.
But some people don't like it.
I prefer to be observant rather than critical. For instance, if you were playing and you miss a simple black off the spot, rather than say, oh, that's a dreadful shot from Stephen, I would say something along the lines of, oh, I'm sure Stephen would be devastated at having missed that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it from your point of view, but it's not sort of open criticism, really.
Yeah, go for a swing.
Oh, what a shot. Pink spot.
Didn't get it far enough over just to make this unmissable, you see. They might refuse this these days.
Well,
can you believe how much shots they refuse?
But
the game's changed.
Yeah, I think...
There's a lot more risk-free snooker being played than...
Oh my God. That was good, wasn't it? That's the wrong pocket. It's supposed to be that pocket, not the middle.
Let's see if you can do that again.
It slid more than I thought. I hardly played it. I put virtually no side on that.
See if you can get the pocket again.
In the pocket again, probably will. I wouldn't be trying to, of course. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, it's even better.
It wasn't bad.
Let's have another go. So let's play it with I think it's a throw wide if I play it with a dead white. Middle bag.
He's done it again. He did do it again. That's genius. Dominic, pleasure. That was great fun. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You saw it slightly differently to the way I saw it.
Snooker wasn't great, but the chat was very interesting. I enjoyed
thank you, Stephen. Well, it was interesting. Yeah.